Hello, folks on YouTube. Northstar here with another Age of Wonders 3 multiplayer Let's Play. Here with Joe. You can say hi if you like.
Hello.
Um, so yeah, it's Joe's turn. I don't know what he was up to. I was gonna mention the Heart of the Arctic, Tim. I saw it somewhere. East. Is
Yeah, it's
that
it's
that?
near Mythdale, I
It is
think.
that tall thing. I didn't know if it was that tall thing or somewhere
I
else.
think it's the tree, the pine tree with all the magical effects going on around it.
Oh no, those are crystal trees. Uh,
Oh, oh, it is?
Oh yeah, oh
Hmm.
I see it. It's southeast of that. There's like the ice castle, and I'm like, it's not the ice castle. And then I see it.
Yeah,
It's on the
that thing?
coast. Yeah, it's on the coast southeast of the like near the bridge towards the fire
Yeah,
giant lands or whatever.
yeah, I think
Um,
that's what it is.
yeah, Bulgur, the fire giant lands. But yeah, if you control Heart of the Arctic, it removes all unit and terrain penalties everywhere in your empire for Arctic terrain. So as well as like gets the equivalent of the
Oh,
heart of the glades in terms of providing happiness and plus 10 casting points. But
I
for
could,
your empire, what?
yeah, I could probably settle over there. It's not too far.
Yeah, it's not
The
urgent
crossing.
because the only you don't have any species that actually dislike Arctic terrain just yet. I mean,
Yeah.
frostlings, elves, and dwarves all don't care, but you do have that orc leader. Um, let's see, you got the orc. Somewhere I think you have a Tigrin. Shara the Bard, right? She's Tigrin.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's wandering around in Arctic terrain. Would suffer penalties from that. Although
Oh, yeah.
she currently has the Flowers of Solace, so she's not actually suffering that terrain penalty. Her morale is actually
Oh,
high
yeah.
for the next 9 turns because of the flowers. What?
I'm just saying, yeah.
Oh yeah, because she'd normally have an Arctic penalty that would put her at normal morale, but because she doesn't have the
Yeah.
Arctic penalty, she's now at high morale, has increased chance of scoring hits, which
Yeah,
apparently I
it's
think
lucky these
it's
were over here.
yeah. I think I looked up at 7.5% chance of crits normally. It's 15% at high morale. I
Oh,
think it's 22.5 at like at morale that's over 400, and it's 30% chance of crits at the highest morale level. You can never score crits at low morale. You have a chance of fumbling hits instead. So yeah, I don't know what. Oh yeah, you were gonna fight that battle
yeah.
underground. That's the next thing. I
The
was
ancient
like,
ruins.
yeah,
Oh,
the near Fugold.
yep.
Yep,
Yeah. Let's see, 2 heroes, 3 X-Men, and a vampire spider.
yep. I
Maybe.
didn't know if you had any other fights
Vampire spider.
we had queued up. I didn't have time to
I think this is the
re.
only one.
Yep, I didn't have time to review the video before it is. Oh, I should mention, talking like strategy. I think we talked a little bit about like more cities versus better cities. This game is very much not like Civ 5. It's more like if you've ever played some of the Civ 4 mods, like Kim in the Cosmos or something. There's a lot of
Yeah.
buildings that give a flat yield just for having them in a city, like shrines and temples. Uh, and cities have a base income, and they don't really benefit from having more terrain, except that it
And
allows
there's
their
no
pop.
penalty for having more cities, is there?
No, none. So I mean, you
So you
want
just want to
spam
churn out
lots
as
of.
many as you can.
Yep, you want to spam lots of like little cities. The bigger thing is spacing so they don't crowd each other. Um,
Ah, okay.
like over where you built that watchtower. I guess it's better you didn't build a fort there because that would eventually crowd the other Murmur, the fort that's next to the Lost Library.
Yeah,
When you
as
turn
well
that,
as as well as the other fort to the bottom left.
yeah, if you build it against the mountains, it will only crowd the other one, and it's a great place for dwarves because mountains. Um,
Yeah.
although it is pretty close to the blight, so it'll eventually suffer some like dislike terrain penalties for blight. Um, Although I can cleanse some of that blight, the problem is it makes me more good. So, and because I'm a gray guard, I have very limited ability to cleanse
Uh,
blight without losing my big bonuses. I took it for the healing spells, but creation added lets you cleanse blight and light temperate
oh,
terrain. You can actually also turn Arctic and tropical terrain temperate. It's not just blight;
oh.
you can quote cleanse,
What
which is kind
can what kind of terraforming does air have?
of
Antarctic?
air doesn't actually. You need to turn terrain Arctic, you need your Arctic mastery. I mean, air mastery, which actually you have, so you can do that. There's a spell,
Oh,
Arctic
okay.
domain, that turns all terrain within your domain everywhere. So even like in your near capital, Arctic over time.
Oh, jeez.
It's world spell, and you got a really big empire. Like this is a really big map. It's very cost effective. Great
Yep.
way to inflict debuffs. And any goblins don't like Arctic terrain, and neither do orcs or humans. So um, I don't. I think humans don't. Yeah, I think humans dislike, but they don't hate Arctic terrain. So yeah, you could cast that eventually and turn basically every spread the Arctic into all of your domain. And of
Yeah.
course, my units would suffer penalties on it too, and that would be so problematic if
Yeah.
I wanted to aid your armies. So maybe,
Hmm.
maybe not. You have a second way to terraform terrain Arctic though, because you have a Frostling city. And the
Yeah.
Frostling Ice Queens, you can build them and sacrifice them to turn a small amount of terrain Arctic. It's a very expensive way to do it, but
Hmm.
it's a way to, most importantly, to cleanse blight for you. You can turn blighted terrain into Arctic terrain that way. So you
Yeah.
might do that like on the edge of the blight because I can't really cleanse much of the blight. So you might send a couple Frostling Queens down there and push the blight back a little with Arctic terrain. Your dwarves won't mind the Arctic terrain at all. So um, or you might run the Arctic domain for a while and then like not anymore. But then again, as I
Yeah.
said, you'd have Arctic terrain all over your borders. So I don't know, maybe. Um, but yeah, in fact, it's so important to crown lots of cities. I'm going to shrink the domain of my capital one and build a little fort up against those mountains soon for some dwarves who are not going to be too appreciative of my tropical terrain because if I remember correctly, dwarves don't like tropics, but they like the mountains
Oh, no.
and hmm,
Yeah, they don't like tropics.
yeah. So they'll dislike the tropics, but they'll like the mountains. And the idea is that I can recruit a few dwarven axemen because they're the best infantry in the game. I would argue. They're definitely
Yeah.
the toughest. With my race governance, if you take the military one, which you usually want to do, is Tigrants, the Sun Guard are arguably not much worse than the Dwarven Axemen, but their strengths are different. They're not nearly as good at holding a line. Their advantage is mobility and the ability to like break enemy guards. So they're a much more offensive infantry type, and they don't do as well in the defense. Uh, Dwarven Axemen are definitely the best defensive infantry in the game without any others that come even close. So, and high elf longbowmen are, or hunters. Hunters, I forget if do your hunters have armor? Do they wear armor?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
Yeah, no, they don't. Dwarven hunters wear armor, but most hunters don't.
Yeah.
High,
Do all Dwarven units have armor?
almost all, yeah. Um,
Okay.
which is hitting like it's a +2 defense unless the enemy has armor piercing, in which case it's actually a
Yeah.
-1 defense. Um, because armor piercing increases attack power by 3, whereas armor is only 2 defense. So,
Oh, yeah.
um, yeah. So I guess because they're like slower and have a hard time dodging hits, and if the enemy can just pierce the armor.
That makes sense.
Excuse me. But yeah, hunters have the advantage of speed, but high elf longbowmen for defensively, like holding city walls, they're the best archers in the game. Um, because they're armored. Like I have shredders, and with the seeker enchantment, they won't suffer long range penalties either, and they can inflict bleeding, which I don't think your longbowmen can. Uh,
Inflict bleeding?
yeah, shredders inflict bleeding.
I think
Oh yeah,
they
you have.
do, but I think it's because of
Oh yeah, it's because
and
you're a
Empire
druid.
upgrade.
Yeah, that's right. It's an
Mhm.
empire upgrade. Yeah, so your longbowmen are the best. Yeah, druidic high elf longbowmen are the best archers really in the game defensively, and offensively you hunters because they're a lot more mobile, like out in open fields. So yeah, you can eventually raise a dwarf and elf army. And you have lots of good sites for dwarven cities, but I'm gonna struggle to just integrate that one vassal and put like a little outpost up against the mountains. Maybe
Yep.
another one in my northwest fort because I'm looking at it as two gold mines, and
You can
with the
put
right.
some more dwarven cities down underground, can't you?
I can, but because I'm not going to be integrating the dwarves for quite a while. Uh, let's see. Yeah, the second you can either choose to give Axeman +2 melee strength, which is really good, or give gold mines +3 gold. So actually, it's probably better to have the melee strength. So yeah, I might squeeze in like one dwarf city near my capital, maybe
Mm.
another across the river somewhere, but up against all that mountain. But it's all going to be in tropical terrain. The dwarves aren't going to like that. I'm not going to be integrating that dwarven uh, Galbrand for quite a while. So trying to go and like expand its borders. It's mostly going to be building settlers in Fugold because Fugold will be much better developed, by the time. And you got the prospectors already digging those tunnels and such. I don't know, maybe you could sell me a city or two, a dwarven city underground. Um, since
Yeah,
I do
possibly.
do um I do get more gold from like cities than you because I'm a warlord. I get an extra +10 gold from cities base, which is multiplied by happiness. So, and axemen are cheap. Like infantry units are cheaper for me to recruit as well. They cost less and are quicker because they cost less. So to produce. So yeah,
Should I start that battle?
yeah. I was just looking around the map for a second while waiting for you. Yeah, I don't see anything else that you were about to do, but maybe there's something I'm forgetting. You might as well. Um,
Okay.
I'm curious what the defenders are.
Troll, Dread Spider Baby, and a Warg.
Ooh, fun.
Also, I have Mass Curse on me,
Um,
so
Oh, how
and I
much? How
can't.
many?
I have no casting points. Oh well.
Shit. Well, the mass curse is going to hurt a bit, but dwarf and axemen are tough as nails. Heroes
Yeah.
you can risk. And the vampire spider, if you hold it back and then have it come in and web things at the right time, this should be not a bad fight. And they only have one spider, not two, so it's not like they don't have a very high chance of webbing units.
Should I prioritize the spider? You think?
Well, there is this troll, and the problem with the troll is that it has regrowth, so it
Yeah.
heals like 13, 14 hit points every round, and it'll
Mm.
attack units, suffer the retaliations, then just heal it.
Right. So I should shoot it down as soon as I can. Oh,
Uh,
I have befriend animal. I could try to get another spider here. Actually,
yeah, or the spider or the warg.
the warg.
Yeah, the spider has better defenses, and it'll be harder to charm the spider basically, but it's probably a little more valuable than the warg.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would base a lot on positioning because any one of these units can pose a problem, and yet you should be well able to deal with any of them as long as yeah, you don't have much experience using a lot of like infantry because you're much more arrow focused
Yeah.
as elves, but
Yeah. That last city invasion was the first time I'd used a whole lot of them.
oh yeah, fighting the
Defending Fugold, yeah.
yeah. Um, it's all infantries. Well, actually, your heroes do have longbows, both of them. But other than that, everything is melee only. So Yeah, I guess you might as well pick a.
Hmm.
I the troll. How much attack does it have? I was thinking whether you should do a choke point kind of thing. Maybe not. That that troll hits hard.
Should I
Uh,
advance just outside of their range?
I mean they're gonna have to come to you, and they all move at different speeds. Like
Yeah.
if you've watched my pop-up dungeon videos, I love to let enemies that have different speeds kind of. Sometimes they'll hit you at different times, which can be good because then you can pick them off one by one as they come.
Hmm.
And even if they don't, you can sit and if they move at the speed of their slowest unit, which is the spiders actually, or no, yeah, or no, the trolls. If they all move at the speed of the trolls as a group, then you can have more time to shoot them. I would, um, since it's just your heroes who can shoot, and you don't have too much to, and you don't have too much time to set up. I'd probably, you see how you have that one dwarf. I guess it's, I'll rotate. They're on the top of your screen, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you got that one dwarf on the right.
Yeah.
Uh, Probably like you could. Well, you don't really want choke points against the troll because you actually want to swarm him and hit him.
So have him
Uh,
go
what?
like have him go around to the right or
No.
go
I was gonna say you
go
may actually
straight
want to meet
forward.
him in the open field. So you may want to pull him in a little bit, like to the left with the rest of the units.
Ah.
And the spider can come in and like try and web something and set flanking for other units because even if the webbing fails, it sets up flanking. Um, so I would, yeah, I would gather units here. I've maybe the heroes sit in front because they can take more hits. It's not a big issue with the resurgence, and they have longbows. So, and yeah, and support them with the axemen and have the spider in the rear because the spider
How
can kind of
how far forward should I move him?
The heroes? Maybe two or
Yeah.
three hex, maybe just a couple hexes forward. I wouldn't go any further than that, especially with the warg there, because the warg I think can already that thing can move 6 tiles. Yeah, so it can just bear
Oh wait,
almost.
Jane can cast a couple of spells. Revive
Yeah.
Instinct, Rich Pierce, and Rust Strike.
You don't have any casting. Oh yeah, he's got his own casting points though. Revive
Yeah,
instinct, root spears. Well, revive instinct won't do any
can
good
only
because they don't
cast
have
one.
mounts. Does revive instinct do anything to anything besides units that are mounts that are like cavalry?
Um, nope, just mounts.
So the only thing that does anything, since it's not like they wear armor, is root spears. But yeah, you could
Yeah,
have them uh, root spear the warg probably. Its main advantage is probably coming around and flanking stuff. Or the spider, it's got
yeah.
less health. It depends what you want to charm. But if you wanted the spider,
The
then
spider.
yeah, then I would try and root spear the warg with
Okay,
him.
right now, this turn.
Yeah. Um, no reason not.
All right.
Wait, does it hinder them if it fails?
It hinders them if it succeeds.
Oh, yeah, then I would do it from where he is. I'm gonna say you can move further forward if it hinders if fails, but if not, yeah.
Yeah, hindered units lose 100% of their
I thought
points.
so they don't lose
Or
half their
bonus.
movement if it fails.
No, I think they're just fine. I think
Yeah,
that's something else. Which spell
yeah.
is that?
No idea. I would just root spear the warg then with Shane. There are, that way you can hit them while they're still not in longbow range,
Hmm. Okay.
since he has his own casting points.
Oh, he resisted.
Eh,
Oh well.
well, still did a good bit of damage, so should be
Yeah.
easy to pick him off with arrows next turn.
And
Yeah,
then
and I
put
would,
the dwarf axeman just like alongside the heroes, or
yeah,
specifically behind.
um, Uh, I guess because you can always move one. They could rush for Ow and S. Yeah, I'd put the Axeman next to the Mushroom and Shane, and just have him wait there in guard mode. The one on the right, that Axeman,
Right
and I
here?
would have, yeah.
Or one tile forward?
Uh, no, because he can move one tile further if and still attack 3 times if necessary. So I would just stay there.
Okay.
Um, but if you end up needing to fall back based on where they move, then it's not as far forward. And I would just line up the other 2 axemen somewhere to the left of Alvinus, and the spider kind of in the rear. It's more fragile than the dwarves. Its main use is to come in and web something. Uh, the axeman on the left can probably move a tile further forward if it's gonna come around and like hit stuff and flank. It's not too mobile, so.
Is that a good
Um,
distance for the spider?
that a good distance for spider. Um, I'd pull it another tile forward. I'd probably also pull the axeman next to Awanes another tile forward. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. A lot
All right.
depends on what they do, but I'm sure you remember that axemen have defensive strike,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so they can go into guard mode, which is very nice. It means these axemen already have shields and armor, so it's like they have 14 defense, and they have effectively 16 defense when they do a defensive strike, which
Yeah.
means or at least the veteran axemen. Some of them only have 9 defense, the troopers, but that means they reduce all damage by 5 to 6, which means even the troll only hits them for 12 or 11. Uh,
Mm.
the warg has overwhelm though, so it hits the axeman for extra 3 damage.
55% chance to befriend the dread spider baby.
Hmm. Yeah, you'd have to get up close though. I would just
Yeah.
um I mean, the range in the longbows is pretty nice. Yeah, I would fall back a little and shoot the warg. You should be able to kill the warg, and that way, make the other units move more of their movement to get to you. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, you could have Shane fall back 1 tile and still shoot the warg 3 times.
Okay.
Um, that should kill it. Nice.
Oh, he leveled up.
Nice. Um, if you shoot the troll, it'll just heal unless you do a lot of damage to it. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, yeah, if you really want to charm that spider, then I would pretty much pull everything else back so that the spider is less likely to close to melee and get hit with retaliations.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I would pull like the axeman on the right at least 1 or 2 tiles straight back. What's next to Shane? And the other one's yeah, because yeah, it puts him out of range of the dread spider. And I don't think Shane can retaliate because he already attacked this turn, or maybe he can, but he's a hero, so it's less of an issue if he gets hit anyways. Yeah, and I would pull the other axeman and the spider further back. Uh,
Hmm.
Yeah. Probably want to pull the spider another hex so that it's out of range of the enemy spider, the vampire spider. There we go. Because, yeah, the vampire spider should be able to move. I think. Is it? No, it's 5 tiles because it costs 6 to move on the tactical map, doesn't it? Yeah, so
You
1,
can still
2.
get the Shane and Ominous. So if I move Ominous one more, nope,
Yeah.
you can still get Ominous. Hmm.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
got.
but it's not likely to if it has to go that far. They're likely to be more cautious, though not guaranteed.
I could put her behind Shane.
Uh, I mean, it would be better if they attacked her because she can go into guard mode.
Okay,
Uh,
I can just got her here. All right.
yeah. Um,
So that's that turn.
I might. I was gonna say the dwarf on the far left. I might have positioned a little differently, but
Oh,
it doesn't
whoops.
matter. Yeah, so I guess he does get a retaliation. What it does is it takes from his movement this turn. He has fewer attacks. Or
Yeah.
on the bright side, I think the spider got a little experience from doing that hit and a little from getting hit. So if you do
Should he
manage to,
try to befriend it or?
um, yeah, I'm trying to think if he can set up if
It
he can
went.
set
It's
up.
65% now. Does it go up with damage?
No, it went up because it's no longer in guard mode, because
Oh,
it's
okay.
based on resistance.
I see.
But I'm trying to think if he can set up flanking or stuff. If he fails to charm it, well, I guess,
If he moves at all, he'll take an opportunity attack.
um, yeah.
If he fails, it loses movement.
Oh, it does. Oh
Yeah, it
yeah.
loses half its movement.
I would just see if he charm it or not.
All right,
Spiders are cool. Ooh,
got it.
spider
Got
bro.
lucky.
Nice.
Sweet.
If the spider's still alive, which there's a very reasonable chance the troll smashes it.
Yeah.
In fact, the troll will definitely smash it unless you attack the troll in melee and eat up its retaliations this turn. Uh, yeah. But you can do is
Sacrifice this trooper dwarf axeman.
the trooper. Oh.
The
Uh,
one all the way on the left has the least experience.
yeah. You probably don't need to sacrifice anything. I was gonna say no, no. I was going to say now that that thing is charmed and can't do opportunity attacks on ONS.
Oh, it has webbing touch. Should I try to? Oh, it's a 30% chance that I web the troll.
Yeah, but you have 2 spiders that can try it. I would have
Oh,
Ness
that
fall
is.
back right 1 tile because you have 2 spiders. Well, I would first do it with the dread spider, see if it succeeds. Try and web the troll. And if it doesn't, the vampire
Okay.
spider could try. So, yeah, if you can web the troll, it'll be harmless.
Oh my God, I've gotten really lucky. Okay,
Nice.
just wail on it with as many attacks as I can.
Uh, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a like being careful so that everyone can get in there and they don't block each other.
Yeah.
Um, Looking at damage done by different units. Oh, it's got blight protection, so the vampire spider won't do much. Still, the spider could get 2 hits for. No, you'd have to sacrifice two axeman hits. Yeah, I guess I would just have the 2 axemen or closest just walk up and hit it 3 times.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, vampire spider would. You could get it in for some attacks, but you would actually lose more damage from the axeman slashing away at the thing. It's not worth it. Everything is flanking while it's stunned, which is nice. Um,
Sweet. And it's dead.
yep. And you now own a dread spider.
Probably should have
Which
shot it with the leader first. Now that I think about it.
your
Oh well,
axeman might not have got as much experience then. They wouldn't have gotten as many
that's true.
hits. So, yeah, she'll gain experience passively.
All
I
right, box
suppose.
of blades.
Oh, what does that do?
Strong usable item gives a hero throw blades.
It's a what
Throws
usable?
blades at target enemy unit.
It's a
A
usable.
strong.
Oh,
It's yeah.
strong.
It gives the hero throw blades.
What does throw blades do? Does it say?
I nothing specific.
Yeah. Well, uh,
Hmm.
I suspect that's like a rogue type. It's a closer ranged
Maybe it's
attack.
what isn't that what your archers do? Your Tigrin, not archers, but you know what I mean. Your Tigrin
My
knife throwers,
shredders, my
shredders. Yeah.
shredders, they have a unique. Yeah, it does call it throw blades. Yeah, that's something in Nor's line of sight and can inflict bleeding.
Oh yeah, I
I
wonder
s
if it has the same stats.
if
I'll
it
probably
does,
take
it
that.
uh
Unless, or I could sell it for 178 gold.
um I
Might
mean
be
I
good
would
to give to the bard though. Maybe.
uh what yeah, she only has that dark
Mm.
gun. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
And some enemies are like well the dark gun has suffers it fires straight shots, so it suffers a lot of line of sight penalties. The
yeah,
blades if it's the same as my shredders, it completely ignores line of sight, so it's much better when she has to fire through cover. It'll help her a lot.
yeah.
The longbows are less affected because they do arcing shots by cover. So yeah, you probably want to send it to Shira. That's true. Although there could be an argument for giving it to Shane for fighting the Archons, just because
Mm.
sometimes he's gonna have to fire like over cover. But yeah, probably Shiro can put it to better use if you're
All
confident.
right.
I mean, now that you got that spider, I imagine you won't have too much trouble with
Should I?
with the archons.
Should I? I can pick it up and give it to Awanes first, though, right? Just to see what it does. Right, and
Um,
still carry it.
yeah, you can. I would give it to Shane that way. Though he's got a little more movement, and one thing you can do is you can move him before currying it
Oh,
towards Shira.
save
Sometimes that
a
can
little
save
bit
a
of turn.
turn. Yeah, if if he's near a threshold, like between 4 and 3 turns to courier, for instance, he might be
Yeah.
able to reduce it to 3 before currying if he runs it part of the way himself. Shane's got one more movement. I think he suffers less movement penalties because of his
Range,
free
medium
movement.
can trigger up to 3 times. No line of sight penalties. Does less damage at long range. Cannot be used while engaged. Yeah, it sounds like shredders.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a shredder except it doesn't inflict bleeding on its own.
Oh,
Uh, but yeah, no line of sight penalties. Uh,
so should I have him move as far as he can towards Galbrand? Is that the closest entrance, or?
hold on. I'm looking where she is. Probably not. She's
Oh,
down near.
you're right. She's right next
There's
to. Yeah, there's an entrance right next to.
yeah. The way that the closest
Hmm.
path would be almost due south from your city, like down that. I don't know if it counts as the crow flies. Like you've got that dead end tunnel. If going down that tunnel would
That's
it
true.
probably Norse terrain is my guess, but I'm not sure. Uh, I would probably just send him. You can get further on the road, anyways. I would send Shane as far along that road southwest of Fugold
Yeah,
as you can, like
he can
down
only
towards.
get to like the outskirts of the city.
That's fine. It might save a turn on the currying. It might do nothing, but
All
it's
right.
not like there's anywhere else he needs to be right now,
Yeah.
since he needs to heal before you bring him into another fight, probably. That was interesting. That was the shortest movement path. Okay.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I probably should have moved. The dwarf axeman out of the city?
Why?
No, he wouldn't be blocking him.
He
Huh?
moved through the
Oh yeah,
Axeman,
you're
right?
right. That would. Huh?